Danny's Diary is on tour again. We're out west ahead of the Galway Festival. We're catching up with one of the top Irish amateurs, Derek O'Connor. And I think he's got some great insight into his life and times as a rider and now going into being a handler. Derek, we're approaching Galway week. You're from the west of Ireland. What does it mean to you?
Sure, Dan, it's a very special place, isn't it? As we see today, the crowds are here, just midweek day in the middle of the day here in Galway. It's very, very special. And the whole race week, as a jockey, to be local and anticipation building up. So people ask about the Galway races here. What are you riding in Galway? And they're not racing people. They don't know about Cheltenham or Punchestown or Leopardstown or any of the festivals, the big festivals we associate the spring with. But everyone knows about Galway. It's a very special place.
I think, for me, coming from the end of the season, touches off and everything leads towards Galway. You've been quite successful at the track. You've won the Connacht Hotel Amateur Handicap and you've ridden in the Plate.
Yeah, I've been very lucky at Galway. It's not too many years I've left without a winner. It's a very, very good feeling to pass the line in Galway and you get a local appreciation for your winner. You come back into a crowd of people there on that grandstand and they're cheering you on, but they're faces that you know. So that's quite special for me now. So as festivals go, I'm not into these big cross-channel festivals. I love the local festivals. I love Galway, I love Punchestown, and I love that local atmosphere and come back into people that we know and that we recognise every day.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be, you have 2 rides, you're on 98, you'll have 100 rides at the Galway Festival with a lot of success, Have you ridden many winners for your friends here, or that, who's been your best trainer in Galway?
I've had good associations. I've ridden Emmett Mullins has been very good to me here. Road winners here for Charles Burns, John Kiley. I've had good associations here, Charles Burns. People often target Galway, you find people target horses to Galway, summer horses, and they target it. And you'd know in advance when a fella has Galway on their mind because you're getting these phone calls there with anticipation for the last couple of weeks.
If you're going to have a good ride, you know it's coming.
You do, like in Galway you do, yeah.
And for riding those fancied ones around Galway, what's it like in comparison to some of the big galloping tracks of the winter?
That's the one thing, Galway is a tricky track. The undulations, the downhill, and then you think, I've often come down the hill in Galway thinking that this is in the bag, and I fall out the back of the television. It's an undulating, tough track that takes a kind of an astute jockey. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to be very tactical in Galway, I find. And
you'd be the king of the point of points, but jumping out of stalls to go there. How did that change for you over the years?
God, you just grab the neck or the mane or the neck strap and just let him go. Sure, it's a highlight, isn't it? We don't get to jump out of stalls, we jump out of stalls in Leopardstown, Bellewstown, a few of the amateur races up and down the country, but not too often. So we have the big race on the Monday and the other amateur race on the Wednesday. There are high-profile occasions in people's lives, them kind of situations, and in Galway with the atmosphere and the crowd, it's a wonderful, wonderful festival for us. For amateurs, it's a wonderful festival.
Yeah. Last year's Cheltenham Festival was very good to you, Derek. You nearly won all 3 races, which would have been unprecedented.
Sure, it was incredible. Corbetts Cross got the ball rolling on the Tuesday. Sure, he skated up. Inothewayurthinkin in the Commure on the Thursday. Skated up again. He seemed to be well in because he went on and won a Grade 1 in Aintree afterwards. So he was a joy to ride actually. And then it's on the line in the Fox Hunters. So we were just pipped on the line, literally. Filly of John Dawson was riding her, just came and pipped us right in the line, just got us in the nice rides.
To go that close to winning all 3 amateur races, it's probably something you couldn't have an ambition of doing again this year, but you'd give it a go.
I'll give it a go. It was Patrick highlighted to me that myself and John Oaksley are the only 2 amateurs that have ridden the winners of all 3 races over any period of time.
In your career,
in
Grand
a career,
Slam.
Yeah. And I thought I was going to do it all in one day, or all in one week. So it was incredible. It's on the line, and the poor horse, he tries his heart out. He lacks a little bit of class, but he tries his heart out. And I think we just got pipped on the line.
He went back to Aintree.
Aintree. We won the Fox Hunters in Aintree. Got a great round of jumping, and the track and the fences just set him alight. He was brilliant on the day, and then that set me up to come back to Punchestown, and we won the Champion Hunters Chase in Punchestown then as well. So he had an incredible year, that horse.
And you're riding a lot of those winners in a certain set of green and gold colours. How important has that link been?
Very, very. The McManus family, Mr. McManus himself, but the whole family, they're so genuine and so appreciative of success. It's incredible. To put on them colours, let alone winners, is an honour for anybody, for any jockey, and to be associated with them. And you know, it's a funny thing. So you put on the colours and you ride the horses and all that. That's all part of our job as jockeys. But I'm also kind of associated with the family, which is nice. So people talk to me about Mr. McManus and his kindness to hurling clubs around the country, and to his joy of horses and different things. So that association is lovely as well. Yeah.
To be given back, you know, to have that trust, to be put in that position to deliver then is the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the plaques JP McManus sends to the winning Grade 1 riders.
Obviously, you know.
I was lucky enough to get one.
Yeah,
You won the Irish Gold Cup on Edwall.
Yeah. So Mr. McManus, for Cheltenham Festival winners and Grade 1 winners, the horses' shoes, when they're taken off them after their season, so they're gold plated or silver plated, and they're put on a little statue and engraved with writing on the horse's name, date, and the jockey and the trainer. That's a lovely thing to have. So I have a couple of them on my mantelpiece. Yeah.
Again, another nice touch from the McManus family and JP McManus. It just goes to show how good he is to Irish sport, let alone Irish racing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And we're here in Galway. He's won the Tote Galway Plate a few times. Have you ridden in it?
I rode in it for John Bleehan, a local trainer. That's a good few years ago. I've ridden in it twice, possibly now at this stage, but nothing fancy. So you never know. You never know what might come around the corner.
If you're getting the call up for an Irish Gold Cup, you could be putting on the colours for a Galway Plate if the opportunity arrived at the weight.
Yeah, well, I'd love it. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Yeah.
Corbetts Cross, he was a good winner in Cheltenham last year. Where do you see his ambitions or his potential?
Corbetts Cross is a strange one because he won the 3 mile 6 amateur race on the Tuesday evening, but I'd say it's his pure ability and class got him over that trip on the testing conditions on the day. I can see him dropping back on trip and contesting something over 2 mile 4 up to 3 mile. I can't see him being at his best over that extended trip again. But it was just pure class on the day got him through.
He was the winner of a 2 mile novice hurdle in Naas prior to Cheltenham the year before. So I suppose, as you say, it's raw ability that gets him there. Of the other Cheltenham winners that you had last year, how do you see them fitting into the spring festivals this year?
Inothewayurthinkin has to step up into the big boys now. He's a Grade 1 winner in Aintree, so he has to step up into the big boys. So he's possibly going to be 3 miler. Enjoyed the testing conditions that day in Cheltenham. Aintree was on the slow side. I'd say he's a winter horse. You wouldn't know where he could end up. He could be an Irish national horse if he didn't get a big high rating. You never know.
Okay. And you sold a few good 4-year-old winners during the year. Is there any of those that sticks out in your mind, or to name a few?
God. So I had a couple of nice horses from Mr. McManus. One that stands out, Shuffle the Deck.
Shuffle the Deck, remember that?
Yeah, so I don't know if he seems nice. Yeah, he seems nice. He won a 4-year-old maiden down in Boris for me, and he put up a nice performance. I think Ted Walsh possibly is going training that horse.
Okay, Ted, no stranger to big success as well, and he'll do the job with him.
Yeah.
The early days, Derek, you know, you're a top point rider now, but where did it all kick off for you?
Sure, the experience at home. So I gained the experience at home among my own siblings. Pointing was in our family. My mum was a point rider, so that was in our family, and it was always my draw to go down the point route and as an amateur rider.
Would you have ridden much, you know, the hunting circuit, show jumping as a young fella?
Loads, yeah. Galway is a great hunting area. So you have a wonderful hunt here in Galway, the Galway Blazers, and we used to have a little hunt called the Turkey Trotters. So we used to gather every Sunday, 60, 80, 100 horses every Sunday, and just enjoy the local fields and walls and hedges, you know. We used to have great fun at that now. Yeah.
When you're that young fella out with your friends, is there a good group of you dreaming of winning a Tote Galway Plate someday?
Yeah. Sure, again, there was a great bunch of us together. And you know, I think maybe nowadays people don't have the same gathering of young, hardy riders. There was 10 or 12 of us just take each other on out in the hunting fields. First man down to that wall or first man down to that hedge. And it kind of got me started early in my career to be competitive, and riding horses all came together then. Yeah.
That appetite, you know, it's fantastic within, you know, the Irish amateurs. You know, they really look to be very far ahead of those around the world, and you know, you're looking at that thinking, how is that going to develop? You know, nowadays, is it a bit tougher for those young fellas?
It's an interesting question that now. We do have a very high standard of amateur, and because of it, you have to ride to a high standard to be competitive. And you know, Patrick, you know, there's young lads coming through there. Harry Swan, Jamie Codd was a brilliant man. Barry O'Neill. There's some great riders. You know, we could go back into Philip Fenton and James Nash and Aidan Fitzgerald and Peter Fahey. It was always very high-profile riders all the way through, and you have to ride to a high standard.
With all of those high-profile riders, you know, you came through. You're the king of it. You're the king of the point-to-points now. Patrick would be the dominant bumper rider with his position. Did you ever feel you wanted to go professional, or was that ever considered?
No, I can't say I was then, no. The point-to-point world, I absolutely love it. I love what we do. It's what we do is we develop young horses. We get them as 3-year-olds, we develop them and we train them and produce them then as 4-year-olds. And I'm doing that now as a trainer, as a handler. And I'm loving it even more, you know. The idea of what we do, producing young horses and making young horses, there's great excitement and there's a great thrill out of it. And when you know your hard graft is the product of such and such a horse, it's well worth it then.
When you're looking at a good 4-year-old going for a point-to-point, you're thinking, can this one go win a Tote Galway Plate? Can it be the Hewitt that goes on to win the King George? You know,
absolutely.
These are all the part of the early days.
When you look back into the history of 90% of the horses that you're riding on the track every day, some amounts of them have come through point-to-points, got their education in point-to-point yards, mightn't have ran, but got their education, got that early grounding that's so important. So important. Talking about me and my early education hunting, your early education hunting and knocking around in pony clubs, the horses are the exact same. So what we do is very important, and that's why I love it.
And I think even the French domination came in, but now the buyers are going to France, taking the French horses and bringing them back to point here. So they're getting some of them there, but giving them that grounding within the point-to-points to come through as well.
The French system, to me, they start the horses earlier. They don't have a better horse, they don't have a better pedigree than us, but they have a better system. I think it's early education and this early mature horse coming out of France sticks Irish racing better early on. We catch up. Our horses catch up. I always feel our horses catch up, but they're a year behind. So the French 4-year-old is manly, mature, strong, well educated, and we're going around to sales in Ireland in the Goffs Land Rover and the Derby sale, and we're looking at these big fat chunky 3-year-olds, and the French horse is slim and hard at this stage of his life and a lot of education in him.
From riding going towards you have your handler's license now. Do you think, as trainers develop through the years, do you think there's anything you'd like to change in the way you might bring on your horses in the next 10 years post-riding, or develop the game in any way?
Would you believe I'm at it? So the foals I buy, I break them as 2-year-olds and ride them through the winter as 3-year-olds. So my personal system and the horses that I'm getting to train for Miss McManus and that have come through that system, they're broken as 2-year-olds, they're ridden through the winter as 3-year-olds, and then by the time I get them to train as 4-year-olds, they're hardly mature horses, and I've seen the benefit of that straight away. We've had a wonderful...
The success is fairly clear in the season you've had.
Very, very. And I think our system needs to just start the horses younger. I think that's the answer.
And you're working with Goffs as well. You know, can you see your influence going in there? Are you just still at the stage of trying to get those horses to the sales, or Do you want to influence any of that?
Yeah, I'd love to. I would absolutely love to. I'd love to start a 2-year-old sale or be the promoter of a 2-year-old sale.
Yeah.
But as an individual, it's very difficult. We need the whole breeding industry, the whole pinhooker industry. We need everyone to come together on this. It's going to take a long, long time. Yeah, but I think the mindset is changing. I think we see the benefit of the French training, and I think the mindset is changing. So somewhere along the line, it will happen. Yeah.
Fingers crossed, and I think your success and influence will maybe turn the tide on that.
Well, we'll try.